It's now time to move on to fixing these eyelashes. I'm going to hide my joints temporarily and show you what we have when I try to blink this character. So with these two eye controls selected, if I blink, the result is not that bad, but there's something that is worth being wary of. Let me go to build pose. If I'm to grab any one of these controllers, I think this one is for the eyelid. You see that there's some weird skewing happening with the tip of the eyelash. Now this thing here is a lot to ask advanced skeleton to compute. If I bring back my joints, what's happening is that every single one of these joints over here has some kind of influence on this tip of the lash that's hanging off of the head. And the same would apply for this one. What I intended to do was to create a custom control to control the tip of this eyelash so I can have a little bit more control over it. But if I go into my weight painting tool, I select this eyelash, go into my weight painting tool, and I go to the eyelid. And since we're on the left side, I stick with selections on the left. As I step through, I'm going to go through what I'm going to do here shortly, but I think what I'm about to address is a little bit more important. So as I step through all these eyelash joints, let me turn them on so that you can see them being highlighted. We're seeing the influence of all these joints on top of the eyelid having their impact. And when we get to around 34 or 35, this is about where impact of these joints should stop influencing this eyelash. But if I keep going, these guys also have control over it. That doesn't make a lot of sense. It's not a good idea to have this, right? All the way down here, everybody has influence. So what I'm going to do is go back to 35, and I want 35 to have influence of the entire tip, everything beyond this point where we have black. So I'm going to grab my vertices in this area just to be safe. I'm not going to flood it because I know the distribution is a little weird, and I should be working to fix that distribution anyway because I can make it a little bit cleaner. But what I'm going to focus on first is doing a replace and replacing with a value of 1. And basically what I'm doing is taking away influence from all these other ones and just giving it to 35. So 35 gets all of this. All right, because I don't want those other ones causing any weird skewing. So now if I start stepping through, these guys should have no influence. 37, 38, 39, they're all released it. And I shouldn't see that much of a major difference for now, but if I blink, there's a lot less distortion on that tip. Like it's not breaking and doing any weird things. And I should also notice that when I select this last control and start moving it, yeah, it's a more wholesome move, and you don't see any distortions or weird things happening there. Now I'm going to do the same for this bottom side here. If I was to step through, select the eyelid and start stepping through, when I come all the way here, I'm going to find that good one that needs to take full charge. So it's not 36, it could be 37. In this particular instance, I don't think it matters as much. I could leave everything intact. Yeah, I think I'm going to give it to 37. So I'm going to isolate this, bring my brush down, and let 37 get everything here. So we don't have any weird deformations as things move. Okay, so that should be it. I think that's good enough. So should have a properly functioning blink now, and the tips of those eyelashes are free to receive a control. All right, they're not being impacted by any of the surrounding controls in a weird way. Yeah, all this lid stuff is not messing around with it. That's the corner of the eye. It's doing a good job. Yeah, and it stays put. And some very nice controls over there. Now, the next thing I was going to do was play around with the weighting to perfect it a little bit, but I think what I have is good. Like all these controls moving, I noticed just how magnificent of a job Advanced Skeleton did here. So all this is nice organic movement, and I really don't think I should go in there and alter anything. Maybe something like this looks not so clean. So let me just see if there's some minimal work that has to be done in an area like this. Let me move this all the way and also move this in the opposing direction and see if I get any other weird breaks. But something like this could definitely be cleaned up. So let me bring my joints back, and I should be able to right click here and say select influence. Yeah. And this would be a good area to smooth. So I'm going to hold down shift and just do some smoothing of the people that are, of the joints that are influencing this region. And I'm not going to go too far because, like I said, this is pretty much a pretty good job here that's done. Yeah, just so we have some nice looking topology over there. And try to find what's adversely impacting that set, and I think that was it. Yeah, and that's not bad. So let me look. Yeah, nice behavior there. Nice behavior there. Lost that weird kink to some extent. All right. It could just be a little bit more work done here to refine the topology. It's not bad at all. It's just when you try to make a complicated S shape, which you really shouldn't be trying, you have to be very careful about complex shapes like that with the eye. Yeah, but this isn't bad. If I have to, I'll refine it further down the line. But I think this is a good starting point. And even during animation, if I don't like how it feels like, I can always alter it during the animation process if it's just that bad. But I think this is a good distribution. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad. Let me check this bottom one. Yeah, that one is fine too for the most part. There's a little bit of weird jaggedness, but I like the results. The results are not bad. They work. All right, so that's it for what I'm willing to do on the eyelashes, and that's a good thing because, again, with this number of joints, if you really want to do a lot of editing, you're going to be doing a lot of painting, and I think it is yielding great results, so I'm not going to go too far into that. But during animation, if I feel like I don't like the way it looks, I will come in and paint or do corrective morphs if painting is not enough to clean it up. But it's good. So let's move on to the next problem.